I don't know.
He wants everybody involved.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. He's like the most liked guy.
He's the best teammate you could have.
He's the most liked guy I could think of.
He's almost the perfect person.
He kind of is.
You know?
And I do think, to what JP
I like
says,
your description.
Kind of the perfect person.
To his passion and for the game. Yeah. Like, I truly see him playing hockey
till he's
for
50.
the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to, whenever he retires from here, I'm convinced he's going to go play in the KHL for 4 or 5 years or whatever, do that. And then I'm convinced he's going to be in some, like, elite men's league or beer league until he's dead. I don't think he's ever going to stop playing hockey.
He'll play hockey forever.
So he is.
He's got his kids playing hockey, obviously. Like, he's going to live vicariously through them as they come up through the ranks.
Yeah.
By the way, in the article in The Athletic, shout out to Chuck Lee. It talks about...
Chuck Lee's getting...
No, it talks about Hyde Social. It talks about Ovechkin with his kids, that they have a portable basketball hoop, Legos, and he's always doing this stuff. And he says, I wish I had that kind of energy. But it says he takes Ubers around town, frequents Hyde Social, sports bar in Arlington, and pushes his kids in a cart down the aisles of the grocery store. Ovechkin loves Papa John's Pizza. He owns several franchises in the D.C. area. But his pregame meal, chicken parm, Mama Lucia.
He actually owns Papa John's. I didn't realize he had an ownership stake in Papa John's.
That's amazing.
I knew he had a deal with them because if he scores, like, pizza's 50% off the next day, I think is usually the deal.
Yeah.
Didn't know he had the ownership stake. Good for him.
The article's pretty cool because it has a lot of his former teammates. Like, I would never have thought of this guy's name in a million years then. Knuble was featured throughout.
Is it Mike
Oh,
Knuble?
really?
Yes.
I remember him.
Yeah.
He was a beast. Like, he used to get all the cheap goals, right? All the cheap stuff right in front of the net, right?
Those
tough. I mean, tough.
Tough is probably cheap. But he probably would have umbrage if he called his goals cheap.
I mean, cheap, but you know what I mean. Not fancy stuff like loose pucks.
Yeah, they're
grinder.
Yeah, you're grinding for the goals. Yeah, there. You got to work to get those goals.
Yeah, you got to be tough
because you're battling with big defensemen.
He's an all-time great. He's truly amazing. But I think that passion that he has for the game is what's really carried him. He has fun.
So
I think all the teammates kind of say that.
He played with. You were just talking about. He played with Ovi at the beginning of Ovi's career. So
I can't remember what years Knuble was here, but he was here like toward the end of his career.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm having a brain fart. But have we talked about an Ovechkin statue? They have to have one. Like when it's all said and done, because we're going to be they're going to be there wherever they call the arena these days.
Capital One Arena.
They're going to be there. They redid the deal. They're going to be there for a long time.
There will be a statue either outside or inside
Don't you
the arena
think
at some point.
Where would they put it? They need to have an Ovechkin statue. When it's all said and done, he has to have one.
Where do all the fans gather after big wins?
Well, those steps across the street.
That used to be a Pittsburgh Penguins bit. The fans would go and troll the Caps fans.
Yeah,
but
don't Caps fans still go
though that year that chase?
Yeah, like is it the Portrait Gallery? I'm not 100% sure.
Whatever
I know what you're talking about. Because when the Caps won the Cup, we
maybe that area
made the Pens fans move off of that spot.
Maybe that area though, where you go on the side. You know what? It's like a little.
Well, they're revamping Capital One Arena, so it's going to look different in the next 3 or 4 years.
But that area, you know what I'm talking about? Next to the
Clyde.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah,
they're going to redo that.
They got to put a statue there.
Maybe that could be a spot for it.
They got to.
I feel like it has to be in the arena, though.
And what's the pose? Like, what's the classic?
Him holding the cup. The cup over his head.
That'll be
skating with the cup.
No, it's him bent over in the office getting ready to whack one.
I think Cakes is right.
I think it's got to be him with the cup.
I think Cakes is right.
But that makes it too much about.
Or it could be the shot from the office. It's one of those two.
That makes it too much about him, like winning the cup, because that's a team thing. I don't know.
I mean,
I think this is the shot. I mean, even in the Athletics,
if I had to vote, it's got to be him grabbing it from Gary Bettman and just holding it up.
Yeah, but look at the great Chase logo.
I know.
His celebration.
It's fine. If I were a consultant on the statue, he's holding the Stanley Cup.
If he breaks it with a shot from the office, it's got to be the office.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that.
His little celebration that he did, where he like chalked up something there. Did you see that last night? He did a little like
he did a finger point.
He did like it was silly.
Could be the hot
like 3 more to go.
I don't know. He just like chalk it up.
It was years ago, but he definitely did the hot stick bit that he got. Like people roasted him for it. Yeah. Now they're not going to do that because it was a little controversial, but it was a good selly by him.
I think it's people need to call in. What's the pose?
All right, it is an open line Thursday. 800-636-1067.
Good segue.
When they make the Ovi statue, which they will at some point, we're not sure where it's going to go, but when they make the Ovi statue, what's the pose?
They have to have one, right? It's a guarantee.
It's 1,000%. It's 1,000% it's going to happen. Yeah.
By the way, a few years ago spent a lot of time
just
talking
put it right next to the monument.
A few years ago, we spent a lot of time talking about his weight.
Yeah.
And in this article, Evgeny Malkin says his body's amazing. People talk about his weight all the time. He doesn't care. He plays video games. And then it talks about some of the stuff he eats. I mean, he's kind of known for this. Mm-hmm. He eats Subway all the time. He eats Cheetos all the time.
Like every road trip, that guy is going onto the team flight with a Subway footlong and a bag of flaming hot Cheetos.
It's so silly.
That what is part of what makes him.
I guess he does chicken parm all the time. And in the article on The Athletics,
it said fantastic.
Years ago, Brooks Laich posted on Instagram
Brooks Laich
a picture of him with vegetables that he planned to blend into an organic juice, and Ovechkin commented, add some beer and Russian vodka to the mix.
That's a perfect Ovi response.